Hello everybody, bonjour, comment ça va? Seth Apter with you this evening, and I am excited to be bringing you day 7 of the 12 days of Sethmas. So we are on the other side of halfway point. I want to welcome everybody. If you're watching live, thank you for joining me. And if you're watching on recording, thank you for joining me. There's a few people coming in. I'm going to spend about 5 minutes just saying hello, and then we will talk about why we're here and what we're celebrating. So welcome to Janine and Paolo, Fracto, Vieira, Franz, Charlene, Deanna, bonjour Deanna, hello James, Anne and Audra. We got a lot of people pop on pretty quickly. Hey Diane, how are you? Hey Linda, some familiar names, some less familiar names. Huguette, pardon my pronunciation, Josie, Martine, Karen, also from Canada, but not quite Montreal, a little north of there. Hey Lynn, hello. Hey Carrie, Antonia, welcome, welcome. Hi Nancy, thank you guys for signing up, for joining me, for signing in, for spending your evenings with me. Hey Marie and Joanne, Carrie, Carla, welcome, welcome, welcome. Shelly and Diane, they keep coming through the door. Hey Wendy from Melbourne, thank you for joining me. Nice and early, Wendy, huh? Isabella, welcome, welcome. Hey Paolo, Bess and Helene are here. I hope this is a big store. Now I've been there, so I know, but there's a lot of people that are trying to fit into this room tonight. Hey Diane, Sophie, Linda and Katie. We are in Canada. We are north of my border, and somehow they still let me in. Hey Laurent, Judy, Maurice, Natalie, hello, bonjour, comment ça va, mon ami? Natalie is the wonderful owner of this amazing place where we are today at Scrapbook Central in Western Montreal. It's a place that as I said before, I've been and I've taught at. Hey Lori, welcome. Chantal and Brenda, and I cannot wait to get back again. Hey Maurice, hey Katie. Natalie and I tried for a long time to kind of make it happen that I got there, and I finally did get there. Hey Sylvia, Ariel, hey Judy, welcome, welcome. Hey Audra, so happy to see you guys, and I cannot wait to get back. I know some of your names from the class. Hey Odette, Cheryl, Isabel. I know some of you guys from online, and a few names are not familiar to me, and maybe I'm not familiar to you, and you're just joining because you do everything with Nat. Because who doesn't? Hey Brenda, Lynn, Johan, Zoe, Fred, welcome, welcome, welcome. Elizabeth, Beth, day 7. I am great. We are just over the fence, just. Sharon and Nadine. It's oh, Zoe, you are so dedicated. It's midnight in the UK, and by the time we get done, if you're still with us, it's probably going to be about 1:30 a.m. Hello, Helene from Ontario. Josie, Jay, French Canada, the place of my maternal ancestry. No, I was reading a comment. That's not mine. That's from Janine. Bonjour tout le monde. Merci d'avoir venu. Natalie, I'll translate for you in my broken French. Ma petite pipette. Oh, you know, I'm just going to say it. No matter what you say, when you say it with a French accent, it sounds so much better. I have to say, you know, that's probably a very un-American thing to say, but it is so true. Oh, Karen, thank you. The classes were great, right? Natalie is such a good shop owner, and she is so passionate. She is so dedicated. She is such a hard worker. She knows her art. She knows her craft. She's really quite talented. She's a good business person. She's really got it all, and I'm excited that I'm connected with her and that she's allowing me to take over her Facebook. I mean, I've said this a few times. The shop owners are literally giving me an administrative control over the Facebook page. If I were maybe a little bit, I don't know, cheeky, I could do all sorts of things, but I'm just here to celebrate and to be happy and to spend about an hour and a half with you guys. Welcome, Cheryl. Deanna's here too. Samantha, hello. Carol, your first time. Oh, Carol La Liberté. I know that last name. Hey, Nadine, welcome, welcome from even further east in Canada. Carol, I'm so glad you joined us. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and what we're doing, and everybody else as well. Hello, Joanne, Pascal, Sharon from Clipper Street. I love that the Canadian shops, they've been on a lot of the lives that I've done, no matter where they are in the world. Hey, Julie, Angela, welcome. France, yes, Jo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, je chanceux. Bonsoir, Pascal, comment ça va? Oh, from the DC metro area, a little south of Montreal. Hey, Karen. Bonsoir there, Dominique. First time, looking for some awesome ideas. Julie, I hope to bring some to you. Hey, Colette, Sue. This is such a great crowd. I may be on for hours saying hello. I'm going to limit it to another 30 seconds and then launch in. Hey, Allison, welcome, welcome. Janine, sure, that makes sense. A French background. Natalie is the best. C'est vrai, Helene, c'est vrai. Hey, Lynn, first time. Welcome, welcome. Lise, Dominique, Debbie. So many of these people did not get the pleasure of taking your classes, but will be there for sure next time. I hope so. Hello, Michelle McCosh. Welcome, welcome. We have a lot of other shop owners visiting as well, which is just so cool because this is about community and supporting the independents, and I love that they're all supporting each other. Angela, Anne, Debbie, Maggie, Angela, Karen, Colette, Kathy, Manon, thank you, thank you. Natalie's a queen, I love it. Suspect Zoe, if you sign up early, I totally understand. Claudia, Julie, lots of Julies. Andrea, oh my goodness. We are going to have to bypass a few hellos, and I'm just going to say at this point, welcome to everybody, and we are going to move on. I do want to let you know that I did a Facebook Live today on my Facebook, my own personal Facebook profile, and I got cut off by Facebook twice. Duh. So if that happens again, it's not your device, it's Facebook. And please know that I will immediately start a new live. Just get off the old live and come back to the new one. I'm hopeful it doesn't happen though. So welcome everybody. So let me tell you a little bit about me, and let me tell you a little bit about what we're doing today and what it's all about. So for those of you who might not know me or know me well, my name is Seth Apter. I am in my studio right now. You can see some of it in New York City. Let's show you a little bit more of some of the fun on the walls. And I am a mixed media artist, and I have spent a lot of time in the last bunch of years traveling the world teaching. I am extremely fortunate. And with the pandemic, things have changed, so now I am always online, always. I do a lot of things. I make art, I sell art, I exhibit, I have some of my own books, I've done some DVDs, I design products with a lot of companies. We're gonna focus on one today. And I probably do other things, but I think that covers most of it. And I thank you guys. Thanks, Sophie. I appreciate that about my style. I tend to be a person who is all about dimension and texture and detail, mark making, and layers, lots of layers, 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 layers. And my whole approach to creating is to create without thinking, if you're doing mixed media. And the reason for that is because when you start overthinking, the inner critic comes out, it's no fun. I always say, and all the people here who know me well know, that I say thinking is the death of creativity. So it's all about just letting go and having fun. And the products that I have today will help you achieve that. And all my products, it's always a goal in my products. So in terms of this specific event, it's the 12 Days of Sethmas. For 12 consecutive days, and this is day 7, I am celebrating 2 things. I'm celebrating the 2021 release of my products with Aladdin. Aladdin is a company in France, in Lyon. I've had the pleasure, the luxury of being there twice, and it's an incredible, incredible place. Now, I live in New York City, and let me tell you, you can get great food here, but the food in France may be only rivaled by Italy. And I just had such a good time, and I can't wait to go back. They're a great company to work with, and they've worked with me on developing these lines. So first, we're celebrating that. Secondly, we're celebrating independent shops like Scrapbook Central. They are the core of our community. They are the people, the shop owners who keep things going. People who have been on these Facebook Lives before know what I'm going to say, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. They know about the products. They share about the products. They source out the products. They spend hours and hours and hours working. Independent shops, hard to run. They need to know business. They need to know creativity. They can tell you how to use this. They can tell you how to use that. They can tell you don't use this and don't use that. They're the ones who offer places for people like me to go and teach, and places for people like all of you guys and myself to go for a community, for a connection, to shop, to socialize, to see what's new. I don't know where we'd be without them. So because of that, I really wanted to celebrate them. So these shops are all getting their day, and today is Natalie's day. I mean, every day is Natalie's day, but today especially, which means that Natalie has pre-orders available for what I'm releasing today. The products I'm releasing today are not available to get into your creative hands until probably March. Small businesses know their clients, so very true. I love it. Allison said Scrapbook Central is the wind beneath my wings. Love it. If you put in a pre-order now, you're not going to have it immediately shipped to you. But Natalie will make sure it does get shipped to you, and you guys will be first. So if you're thinking about getting it, please get it. Bonjour, everybody. Tout le monde, bonjour. So you can probably want to maybe buy things after you see them, but let me just tell you in advance how that's going to work. Natalie has a website that has a 24/7, 365 online shop. And all my products are entered into the online shop, and you can go there and pick whichever ones you like and just purchase them. Or if it's easier for you and you do not, I'm going to try to translate some of the French comments, see what I know. If it's easier for you, you can just leave your order in the comments. So you can write down, oh my God, I love those 4 products. I want all 4 of those. Thank you. You guys are distracting me with all these wonderful comments. So you can pre-order on the website, or if you don't want to leave the videos while it's going, you can just write it in the comments, and she'll figure out a way to track that. Let me just tell you, it's just easier for everybody. It's easier for your fingers. It's easier for Natalie, and it's certainly easier for me if you just write in the comment, I want it all. All, you know, tout. Because why not? So we'll have Natalie, who's, I guess, manning the booth today. She's perhaps will put in links to her website into the shop when it's easy to say I want it all. Yes. Maybe she can add links every so often, and we'll remind you of how this is going to work. Also, I wanted to mention that for those of you who shop there and those of you who don't, Allison says, yep, I want it all. So I don't know, Allison, is that your excitement or is that a sale? You get double promotion points, which will go onto your account when your order is fulfilled. So that's cool. Totally cool. Okay, so let's get to business here. Let's get to work, and let's get to play. And again, thank you for coming. If you're just joining me, we're about to launch into showing you products. Okay, so before I get into what's new, I want to share what's old. And I didn't talk to Natalie about this. Natalie, do you have any of my Aladdin products that were released yet last year? If you do, and again, I didn't prepare you, maybe you could scramble and at least let me know in the comments, but maybe put some links. So last year with Aladdin, my first time with them, I released 3 product lines. First, I released, well, no particular order, Isink pigment. Aladdin is the name of the company. Isink is their color line, and they are known and well known for creating amazing ink products. And they have many other things as well, but their ink is made in France, and it's incredible. You have ice inks and ice out of pigments. Okay, so good. So this is a pigment. It comes in 20 colors. It is a permanent ink. It's very opaque, but if you add a little water, you can thin it out a little bit and it won't be so opaque. A little bit goes a long way. It comes, bonjour Chantal, it comes with an integrated brush in the cap, but you can absolutely use it without. So there's videos online that show how to use it, but in case you weren't aware of that product, I wanted to let you know. Rita has all 20, so if Rita has it, you know it's good. I have dye sprays. This is the other end of the spectrum from ink because the dye sprays are not permanent. They're water soluble, so you can do some really nice water effects. But I will say that once they really, really dry, you know, over time, they are quite permanent. This can go on fabric. All the products I'm going to show you today can go on fabric. Many are washable. This is not washable. This is a dye-based spray, so if you wash it, it will literally disappear. However, and you can only use this on things like fiber and fabric, paper, and untreated wood. This is all surface, toute surface. And you can even put this on like pottery. You could put this on the outside, not the inside, like the outside of your mugs or your coffee cups or teacups, and you can then wash it in the dishwasher twice, and without treating it at all, it will be permanent. The sprays are great because they are no clog. No clog, that is really the best thing about them. They come in 18 colors, vintage, jewel tones, and these really rich metallics. The metallics are very, very mica filled. All the others are matte. They have a matte finish, as do the pigments. Last but not least, whoop, it's over here. I got ice. You keep hearing about ice. What is ice? If you don't know what ice is, this is ice. This is Glacier Green. Ice is a translucent gel. It is, don't tell the others, it's probably my favorite of the first 3 releases. It's amazing. Anybody who's used it, feel free to, for nails, why not? Anybody who's used it, please feel free to share your thoughts about it. But this is a window so that you can actually see the color. When you put it on thick, you can create texture. You can hit it with a heat tool and kind of bubble it. You can put it through a stencil. It holds its shape. You can scrape in it and it will hold the marks. However, if you run it out thinly, say with a palette knife, it's very, very translucent and soft, like almost like the surface of an ice cube. It has a sheen to it, and it is completely translucent, and the color softens a lot. It's really quite a fun product. If you've never seen these and you're getting some new things, maybe you want to throw in 1 or more of these just to test them out. Natalie can attest to it. All right, so now, love the melted butter color. Melted butter. So now I gotta show melted butter. You can imagine what melted butter looks like. No, that's not melted butter. There's melted butter. So melted butter is a yellow. It seems like it's quite a bright yellow, but again, when you layer it out, it becomes this beautiful, soft yellow. Thank you guys for all these positives. The pigments are out of stock, but feel free to reserve any here. Okay. That's good to know. But ice and the sprays are available now. Thank you guys so much. Can you see an example of a finished product made with those products? Sure. I'm looking on my wall. I'm looking on my wall. Don't have any on my wall. Do I have any on my wall? I may not have any on my wall, but I will get one later. I am tethered in with the mic, and so at some point I'll run around and I'll find some. Okay, let's talk about the new products, and I definitely have samples for those. The new products are about to come out. As I said earlier, if you're just joining me, they will be shipping sometime in March, and I always say, a little caveat, that you have to be aware that sometimes with craft products and new releases, but especially, yes, the ice is also all surface, but especially, no worries, Judy, especially in a pandemic, sometimes shipping can be delayed. But the expectation is that Natalie and everyone else will have these for pre-order available to ship in early March. All right, so let's talk about the new stuff. First of all, if you don't know me, well, I am 100% all about grunge. Well, I'm not 100% about grunge. 100%. Whoop, you can hear me. I just put on another device so that I can see the comments a little bit easier. And of course, now I can't see the comments there at all, because that just makes it too easy. Okay. All right, got it. So I usually like gritty and layery and textural and grungy and dark and dirty and rusty and all those kinds of things. But this past year, I've shifted gears a lot, and I've really turned more into, aw, thanks, Ruby. That's so sweet. I've turned into a person who's actually appreciating a little bit of brightness and shine and, dare I say, even a little bit of bling. And Nancy doesn't see, I don't know, is Nancy here? Nancy's not here to call me Sparkle Seth, which apparently is my new nickname after doing these. So the products I have now are a little bit grunge Seth Apter t-shirts. Oh yeah. That I have are a little bit different from what you may think of me, but they're part of who I am. And they're where I've been going lately, but don't worry, the grungy stuff is still around. So the first thing I'm gonna show you just one sample. And then I'm going to show you them all. Nancy's there, of course. So this is called Isink Pearly Luster Paste. It comes in the same packet that Ice does. Sparkle Boy, thank you. Nancy, trying to be nice. Come on, we're too good friends for that. Isink Pearly is a paste. It's a luster paste. It has a surface sheen that is shiny and lustrous and glimmering, and it looks seriously like a sheet of metal when you put it on. It is very cool. I'm a bling bling one. Well, maybe one bling. I'm not going to say I'm a double bling. All right, Danielle, I'm going to have to look into artworks, bags. What about aprons? How about aprons? So this one is called Sea Green, and this is a window. It's not a sticker, so you can absolutely see what the color is. These are all surface, so they work on metal, they work on glass, they work on paper, they work on fabric, they work on plastic, they work on wood, whether it's treated or untreated, they work on everything. It is also, it is a permanent product, so once it dries, it's permanent, and there are instructions on the back so that if you heat set it, you can wash it. A grungy bling, exactly. And it comes in 18 colors, and I just think they are beautiful. I love everything when it's getting glittering sparkles. It's going with my name for sure. All right, so you're gonna really love what else I have coming up after if you haven't seen it yet. So what I did was, can they work on a white dresser? Absolutely, they definitely work for decor, and actually I'm gonna show you later. I've done it on a natural wood piece, so it's not white, but it wouldn't work any differently, and I'll show you what it looks like. These are very, very, very opaque. Very opaque. And dreamy is a good word. Thank you, Janine. So I want to show you the, first, just to give you a sense of them, I want to show you the board. And I'm only moving it around because I want you to see the sheen that you get from these, the sort of almost metallic look. And I don't have any direct light on this, but when you even put more direct light, I don't want to blind anybody, you really begin to get a sense, there you go, of just how shiny and metallic these really are. I am really happy with how these have turned out. So these are my colors, they're my line. I gave Aladdin sort of the color mixes I wanted. They did it chemistry-wise, and they were brilliant. So I'm gonna quickly take you through the colors on the board, and then I'm gonna show you every single packet. And remember, these are being pre-sold today by Natalie. You can either get them by putting in the color, fainted, well, get back up quick, because I want to show you. You can either put the color that you want as a comment. You can go to her website and maybe, Natalie, you can put the link in again, and buy it in the website. And you can also just say, I got to have them all. Très belle, merci, Dia. You can just get them all. So I guess if you're writing, I want them all right now, and you do want all 18 of these colors, type it in and say, you know, I want all the pearly, because maybe you don't want the others. So let me take you through. This is peppermint cream. And again, I'm going to show this to you again. You'll have more time to see each one. I love the reaction you guys are giving me. That's Provence. The colors of the fields of flowers in Provence. That is Golden Glow. You know, it's not just gold, it's a golden glow. There we have Sky Green. And Sky Green was that one that I showed you. So you can see it actually comes out as it is. This is one of my favorites. It's indigo. It is such a rich, gorgeous blue. We have pewter. We have coral crush. We have jade. And we have pale peach. And just notice some of those colors that I showed you, how gorgeous they work together, and imagine them on your project. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, Manon. Thanks, Lise. Ooh, Diane says, I never use pearly paint on my cards, but now I will. I think my job here is done. Let's move over, because we got more. We got Butter Haze. Oh, thank you, Dominique. I so appreciate that. And pouches are great. There is no waste. You can get to the very bottom of it. And as long as you close them, they stay usable over time. Okay, so that's Ocean. Smoky Lilac. Welcome, Laura. Sunlight. Vicky, it's okay. I'm really just starting in a way. Winter Sky. Tangerine, also gorgeous combination. Look at those four together. God, that would make a beautiful artwork or card. Gorgeousness. Thank you, guys. We have Seafoam, which I always stop and highlight because I love that one. It's hard to really see what it's like, but it's an iceberg, icy. It's got a little bit of silver, a little bit of sort of a soft blue, a little bit of a soft green. And then we have Restless Rose, and again, you can catch the glistening surface. It really is like metal. Nancy says it never gets old. I swear that I agree with a lot of people. Yep, ice holds its shape in a stencil. So does this product. This is cream. Butter Haze is out of this world. I want to spread it on my bread, on my pain. Okay, and Tangerine is good too. Thank you for mentioning that. Tangerine. So I'm going to show you each color. You know, not too long, but long enough. Restless Rose, thank you. I love when people share the colors that they like. It's just fascinating for me. It's probably helpful for the shop owners as well. What is the difference between Seafoam and cream? They're very different, although maybe it's not that clear. Let me actually get them out and show you those two first. There's cream, there's Seafoam. All right, so cream is just like a pearl. And again, this is a window. It's like a pearlescent, pure pearl. And it goes on, it's a great integrator. I consider it sort of almost a necessary one. I agree with you, Wendy. And thank you, Anne. Necessary because it does so much. You can use it over a collage to integrate it. You can use it over a whole bunch of different colors, spread it thinly, and it's like a glaze and a seal. It's really, really interesting. Thank you, Angela. But it is pure, pure white. And then let's go side by side. This is Seafoam. Seafoam it's like an icy, grayish, bluish, greenish, I don't know, it's like an iceberg color. I think you can see the difference, but it really is hard to see unless you're there in front of you. Ooh, whiskey for us with tangerine, love that idea. So they are different. So again, these are all surface. This Isink Pearly paste can be used as a paste, it can be used as a paint. I'm going to tell you a little bit about both of that later, but let's go through the colors. We have Seafoam. The color of seafood. Cream. I'm going to try to be somewhat organized today. Pale peach. Pale peach. It's pretty, right? These colors are pastel, they're soft, they're kind of dreamy, kind of creamy. This one is Coral Crush. corals, you know, I think it was color of the year recently, so it's pretty trendy. But I waited till the trend was over before I did it, because I don't like to follow the trends. Peppermint cream, gorgeous green. Oh, welcome back, no freezing. And when you think about, again, the color combinations, look how beautiful that is, or that. Just so soft. Yeah, no black or brown, no black or brown. This is all a soft, pastel, subtle collection. However, trust me when I say there'll be more colors, and that's when I'm going to bring kind of the Seth grunge into it. Let's see what we got. Merci, Lynn. This is Golden Glow. Isabella's eating ice cream and watching. That sounds good. Oh, I love this one. This is Smoky Lilac. Just really pretty. Tangerine. So rich. Again, put the tangerine with peppermint cream. Or Ocean, one of my favorites. Ocean is amazing, I think. And this is Sunlight. Look at that combo. Sunlight and Golden Glow are similar in terms of rainbows and unicorns, I love it, are similar in terms of the coloration, but actually you can see it on here. So when you look at them in the packet, they almost look the same, but they're not. So that's Golden Glow, and that's Sunlight. And if you look far away, you can see Golden Glow has a much more orange hue, and this one has more of a sort of almost a yellow hue, but it's not yellow. And you can definitely mix in brown from another color, another product. Let's see. Let's see what else I got for you guys. Oh, Provence. So gorgeous. Thanks, Rhonda. I love this color. Oh, Butter Haze, for those of you who do like yellow. But again, when you layer this out and spread it, it does get softer. So you have the best of both. Yes, they hold through a stencil. I'm going to show you something about that in 1 second. Oh, Restless Rose. Restless Rose is a pretty rose. It's a pretty pink. It's just so soft. I didn't want the colors to be harsh. I wanted them to be, like, I wanted the reaction I'm getting from you. I wanted them to be kind of dreamy looking. Ice cream, cupcake colors almost. And this is pewter. It's a little darker, a little dirtier than what might be thought of as silver. Sorry about that. Got a technical issue here. Okay, and I got 3 more that I love. This one is Jade. And I think Jade is such a gorgeous, soft and luminous, lustrous. Thank you. I just think that's such an amazing green. So good. Oh, I love your Sphinx cats watching. Oh, purred when you saw I showed Provence, Hal. That is so cool. Merci. Sophie, j'adore. J'adore aussi. Merci beaucoup. We have, okay, one of my 2 favorites, Winter Sky. I just think that is one of the best blues. And the pewter, yes, will go with so many. Think of the pewter with that. But the pewter will also go with, like, Coral Crush. Whoop, wrong one. Coral Crush. Oh, yeah, crossing the product lines is great. And I think last but not least, I'd say for me, my very favorite is Indigo. I am a lover of indigo, and they just figure out a way to make the most amazing, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous blue, which goes so well with so many, if not all, the colors. So those are them. What I wanted to show you, because someone asked about a stencil, is you can paint with these. So you could take, and I'm going to demo, you're going to take a paintbrush and wet the paintbrush and spread it out. When you do that, you put multiple colors, you get a surface that looks like that. This surface, you can see when it catches the light, it looks like a sheet of metal, but it's just watercolor paper. But you get that shiny, soft, I think there are 3 colors, maybe 4 here. You get a surface that literally, it's like a sheet of metal. Winter Sky is in here as well. Indigo with gold. Oh yeah, let's take a look at that. Indigo, let's see, is this Golden Glow? Yep, indigo with golden glow. Oh, c'est vrai. Beautiful. Can you mix up the colors together to make a new color? You absolutely can. You can. Hey, Martine. But this is what you get when you just paint it out wet. It's just smooth, it's icy, there's a sheen. However, for me, I often use it much more grungily. So what I do is I take, what paper do I recommend? It's all surface, so any kind of paper. I personally typically use heavyweight watercolor paper with almost everything that I make, but really anything will work, even cardstock, something as thin as cardstock. I don't know what Nina's super smooth cardstock is, but ironically you asked me, I saw the comment exactly when I said that you can do it on cardstock. Any surface, canvas, paper, metal, fabric, fiber, plastic, glass. All 3 products I'm releasing today are all surface. So this is my grungy version. And this grungy version is basically taking a palette knife and spreading it and then letting it dry. And they're quick dry if you put it on thin. It's a paste, so if you put it on really, really thick, it will take longer to dry. You can heat it with a heat tool, but remember, you're only heating the surface. If it's very thick, you're not heating what's inside. But this is maybe 3 or 4 layers of different colors with lots of scratches in it. And this is kind of how I create my layers. So thanks for the hearts for this. And I just have another example using some different shades, but same idea, where you are working on watercolor paper. I am working, spreading it with a palette knife and just scratching. Let me get really close so you see the scratches. I don't want to get too close because then it goes out of off sync. There's a few, can you pre-order online? Was that the question? You can. Natalie can put up the link, or you can just say right in this comment box, I need that color. Oh, thank you, Jocelyn, that's so sweet. You can say I want it all. It's up to you guys. And then what I've been doing actually is in the last couple lives that I've done with some other stores, I've been just spreading out the colors that we've chosen and building layer after layer after layer. So I'm gonna continue to work over the ones that I've started here, which are really fun. I'll show you those later. Sound effects, you mean like ooh and ah? Oh, and then let me show you a finished piece of art. How long do you have to wait till you can get these? If everything works, and let me tell you right now, nothing works in the world, but if everything did work in the world, it would be in your hot hands in March, and probably early to mid-March, but with this pandemic, I just don't know about shipping. So this is a finished piece that I made. Thank you, Fred, for mentioning that. And Natalie just put it in. This is a piece that I made in a class that I taught online with a large number of retailers for a trade show recently, last month. And it's got all my, not all, it's got 3 or 4 colors of pearly in the background. So you see how metallic that is? And then through the, welcome Pam, and then through the stencil is some stuff that I'm going to show you in a minute or two. This was fun to make, and seriously, using this product, even if you're not that familiar with, is easy. And then spending time with it, and then spending time with demos will make it even easier. Once this is all over in terms of the pre-release, and everybody has these, I will be doing a lot of demos online at shops and my YouTube channel, so I can give you a lot more detail about how to use these products, and you can follow along, and they're going to be like mini classes. Today's demo is going to be a little quicker, but Excellent. So yeah, Natalie's already played. She's been one of the few people who have actually had these to use. I'm gonna move, oh, I wanna show you one other thing. So you can spread them out like that, you can grunge them up, or you can make them very thick and dimensional. So if you put it through a stencil, the shape will hold. And I made a second board. Is the stencil on top of the metallic background? Yeah, so the background is made with pearly, so it looks metallic. And then once that dried, I laid the stencil on and spread some stuff through it, which I'll be talking about in 1 second. The layering is amazing with these. So this is the other board I made. I call this my Kiss board, Hershey Kiss, because I wanted you guys to see this is the pearly. This is what happens when you add it in a dimensional, thick way. The opalescent one is cream. You want to buy cream if you want one that's like a pearl or an opal. So these were just squeezed out of the tube, just like that. And then I let them dry. And thank you, May. And they are dry. And you see what like a major tip that is? I can do that over and over again, really, really hard, and it's not going anywhere. This needed to dry overnight because they are thick. So this is just another way to use them. And Aladdin does have specialty stencils that are called 3D stencils that are for thick paste in particular. Julie asks, is the first collection you showed earlier metallic like these ones? I will say no. I'm going to say that in all 3 lines, the ice, the sprays, and the pigments, there are metallic colors, and they are very metallic, really heavily loaded with mica and pigment. And so they're kind of like that. The rest of them, though, are not metallic. And in fact, in the pigment inks and the dye sprays, all the non-metallics are actually matte finish. The ice all has a sheen, like ice, like an ice cube, which is kind of why we called it, because it's translucent and sheeny. These differ in the sense that they're opaque, very opaque. All right, we're gonna come back to these, but I'm gonna move on to my second product. Because, you know, this could go on like for days at the rate I'm going. So the second product I created is a continuation of a line that Aladdin already had. It's something I fell in love with. It's something that is so not me. It's kind of strange that I have it. I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about because you've seen these before, but somehow this year I fell in love with this product called Diamond. And if anybody's used Isink Diamond, please share here. Thanks, Marie. Appreciate you putting all that in and taking the time to write it out. I know Natalie will take care of you. Scrapbook Central, can you post pictures of these swatches? So I emailed Natalie all 3 swatch boards that I'm showing you. She has them, and I am hoping that she'll put it on the Facebook page or somehow share them. Yeah, they have a new thick stencil. It's cool. Glitter is king. Well, I don't know about that, but I fell in love with Diamond, and Diamond is a glitter paint, and I am so not a glitter person, but I love Diamond. It's the only glitter that I like. It doesn't go anywhere. It stays in the paste in the paint. Welcome, Aaron. You made it. It is amazing through a stencil, and in fact, this is one of my Diamond through a stencil. So I'm going to show you my colors. What I did was work with them to create my own line of 5 colors of Diamond. So that color that you see here, it's now available. You can get it, pre-order it at Natalie's. It's called Rose Eggplant, and this is a glitter paint. It's exactly in the same packet as the other products that I'm releasing. You can use it to the very last drop. This is a window, so you see exactly what you're getting. It's gritty, so when you spread it out, you actually hear the crunches. Listen to it. It's gritty when you put it down. It's I don't know, it's amazing to me. And the glitter stays in the paint. It does not go anywhere. Like a James Bond film, diamonds are forever. I love it. So here are my 5 colors. I'm going to show you in the packet. I want to remind you they are all surface, and instructions on the back. You can heat set them, and so you can put them on t-shirts and on canvas bags and fabric and wash it. Thanks, Rhonda. So this is the first one. This is Rose Eggplant. The boards will be available on Facebook shortly. Thank you. no glitter mess. This is black coffee. Really rich. I know some people like cream with their black coffee, and if that's the case, you know you're gonna do. You're gonna use these together. I know, it doesn't even look like a window. That's why I always say that's not a sticker, it's a window. Because I think many people in the shop think it's a sticker. I have Blue Azure. I love this color. Allison wants all 5 diamonds. Thank you, Allison. Did somebody say coffee? Yeah, you know I'm from New York when I say coffee. Golden bronze, and I'm gonna show you these again. So don't worry if you missed it. You're gonna see it again. And last but not least, again, I'm on this indigo. I don't wanna say it's an indigo kit because I have loved indigo forever. I have an indigo version, which I call Beautiful Blue, because I do not name colors across the different lines the same, because they're not necessarily meant to match. This indigo does not necessarily, it's not necessarily exactly like that indigo you see. So they're all called differently. Jesse wants all 5 diamond. Thank you. They do not flake at all, and they are completely flexible when dry on paper. So here's my board, which is just a nice way to be able to see them, both in terms of the colors, but then also what they look like. Look at that sheen. I mean, the fact that I love a surface like that, I don't know who I am. And again, I'm scratching. They're scratchy, they're a little rough, and no glitter is going anywhere. And they do look great together. Thanks, Aaron, so much. You might have to get some of the diamonds. I love that. Spend more time with me every night on these lives, and by the end of it, you might cave and get a couple of everything. So I chose these colors on purpose because of the way they might blend. Azure blue and coffee. Fred, thank you so much. I'm going to take you through that. So I chose these 3 colors because they're the only way I could have something that I call sort of macho glitter. They already have black diamond in the line, and they're amazing. The black diamond is incredible. I use it as sort of grungy textural paste all the time. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to use, let's see where I am. I wanted to use golden bronze and black coffee to create rust. And then I wanted to use azure blue to create patina, because for me, rust and patina is the colors that just make my heart sing. And so what I did on a little tiny square, and I really got to make a bigger one, is I have those 3 colors together. I have black coffee, golden bronze, and blue azure blue. Thanks, Marie. So appreciate it. I'm sure Natalie will see your order. I just think those 3 colors together are incredible. It's like a glitzy, blingy rust, or a rusty bling. I'm in love with it. I'm going to definitely, hopefully before the end of these 12 days, do a larger square so you can really see. And I could make this much darker by adding more black coffee. I could make it more patina by adding more of the azure blue. It's just fun. And then I chose Beautiful Blue because, again, I want more indigo in my life. And then Rose Plant was chosen because I feel like that color goes with every single other color and could work really well with each one. So, look at that. Quite beautiful. Look at that. I think quite beautiful. Look at this. So beautiful. Oh, Cheryl, thank you so much. You couldn't choose, so you got it all. I love it. Can't wait to see what you do and what you make with them. And then that with that, gorgeous. But then, did I already do this? Look at this combination. Amazing. And this combination, it's beautiful. It's like an endless mix and match of things that I just think are truly incredible. So that's the diamond. Let me now show you the last, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a demo. J'adore, I love when people j'adore. And maybe show how you mix for rusty effect. I will do that later on after everybody has them in stock and they're shipping. Basically, the demos this week, these 12 days, are just to show you a little bit about the product, to swipe it out to show you a little bit of how it looks and how it works. I don't want to share all the details until after, and you can actually follow along like a class. Because if you don't get these for another, say, 3 weeks, I don't know if you're like me, you might not even remember half of what was shown. So the last one is a line of 4 products. So it's a lot easier to want them all and get them all because there's only 4. And 2, 3, 4. And these are more in keeping with me. This is the trailer. Love it, Karen, exactly. Double cheek kisses, but not during COVID. I can handle that, but not during COVID. But we can do it online because it's safe. So, as I said earlier, if you know me, you know I like grunge, I like kind of dirty, I like textural, I like layers, and I do love texture. And so I am thrilled. How do you say thrilled in excité? How do you say thrilled in French? I am thrilled that I have a line of 4 texture pastes, Isink texture. That's like, for me, a dream come true. I'm going to show you what they look like in the container. They just look like little white squares. Excité, yeah, I was right, wow. So I took French when I was in high school and was actually, by the end of high school, pretty fluent. Barely used it since then. Every time I go back to France, I get a little bit more, but then it disappears again. And I can understand a little bit more. I don't think my accent's so bad, but perhaps it really is. I love the different versions of thrilled. I do love all things French and French Canadian, I do. All right, so let's get back to this. So these are Isink texture. Once again, they are all surface. So they work on wood, metal, glass, plastic, fiber, canvas, paper, all different kinds of paper, anything. And they come in 4 flavors. I want to tell you a couple things about them. They are white and they're opaque. Merci, Dominique. Oh, I'm touched. I am touched, my friends. Mon ami, je t'aime tout. Is that how you say I love you all? Je t'aime tout or je tu t'aime? Maybe we should stop doing this and you all can give me a French lesson. Oh, thank you. So anyway, these are white and opaque, which means that you have a couple options to using them. You can, before you put them on whatever you're using them, mix them with something. You can mix them with color, wet or dry. You can mix them with dry pigment. Je vous aime tout. Je t'aime beaucoup. Oh, merci, merci. You're so sweet. Je vous aime tout. Okay. I will try to remember that for next time. Especially when I go back to Lyon and I can talk to everybody in the company in French. Can you watercolor on them? Absolutely. You can, but first mixing it first. So you can mix it with dry pigment, and then you can mix it with anything wet. So you can mix it with paint, you can mix it with my ice, you can mix it with my pigment, my dye spray, you can mix it with pearly. You can mix it with anything really. The thing is that remember that these are opaque, which means if you mix something with a white opaque, it lightens the color. So you're already in soft tones with the pearly. So when you mix them in the pearly, they stay kind of creamy and dreamy. But when you mix them with a much darker color, like let's say you go to that brown, I'm calling it brown, it's actually coffee. You can mix them with all my Isink, but this is gonna make the brown lighter because it's opaque, it's mixing. So if you don't want to have the color of whatever you're using lightened, then you paint or ink or watercolor or add the color after. Yes, Brenda, exactly. It's exactly what I'm saying, and that's what I'm going to show you on the board. So this is the board. There are 4. There's beads, crackled, flaky, and sandy, and I'm going to take you through. But let me explain this, that this is a square that I covered with a palette knife with a texture. I then put a strip of black cardstock in between. I left one side as is, and the other side I went over with several different colors of pearly. So that is the effect. And Robert wants all 4 textures. Merci, Robert. So let's start with Sandy, just cause. Sandy is the most subtle of the textures. It is texture paste with fine grained sand. And you can see that even without the paint, my texture pastes have a sheen to them. And then next to it, I've added maybe 3 different colors of pearly, and I dry brushed them over. And you can see in here kind of how scratchy it is. But again, this is the most subtle of the textures. It's really fine-grained sand. I love that effect. I think sometimes when we create textural backgrounds, we want to be able to work easily over them. So for example, thank you, Allison. So and sand would be great for a beach card or a beach spread in a scrapbook. When you're working with Sandy, you're much better off, for example, getting some texture, but then being able to stamp over it than when you're working on some of the more textural ones here, where a stamp is going to be very broken up. So that's the first one, it's Sandy. The second one is beads. And this is texture paste filled with glass beads. And nothing's gonna happen with those beads. They're really scratchy, but they're not gonna scratch off. They're not gonna fall off. They're gonna be permanent. And if this was on paper, this is on board, but if we're on paper, you would be able to turn, you know, like not crumple, but you would be able to fold the paper and it would not crack. I love the glass beads, and these look amazing through a stencil. I want you to kind of get the sense of the nooks and crannies there. And there's all these different techniques to get color in the nooks and crannies and then get different color on the surface. And I will show you those when I demo, not today, but once these are available for actual shipping. So that's beads, and that is Sandy. What colors did you use on the crackle effect? Let's go to crackle. I used sunlight, tangerine, and golden glow. Those 3 on crackled. Crackle, the thicker you put it on, the bigger the crackles. The thinner you put it on, it's like a crazing, kind of a China crazing. And I went over this one. This is the only one when I went over it with pearly that I went over it with wet pearly, so it could really seep in. Yes, and through stencils, these really are incredible. So I mixed those 3 colors there. You can see it plain and white, and then you can see it painted after. I love crackled. I will tell you that thanks, Maurice. I will tell you that the crackled requires time. So you put it on, like all crackle paste, you have to wait for it to dry to see the crackle. So you have to be a little patient. I'm not very patient when it comes to my art. I like things to be ready instantly. But with the crackle, you have to wait for time. You can hit it with a heat tool, but that does decrease the amount of crackle. And you can mix it before you put it on, but that also, to some degree, decreases the amount of crackle. So with the crackle paste, the best thing you can do is put it on and then paint over it. Last, but certainly not least, to me is one of the most fun and one of the most unique, thank you, Marie, is flaky. I hope you can see that. Flaky is just loaded with flakes. They're flakes that literally like flick off the surface, as you can see, but they don't go anywhere. They are just stuck in there. And the surface there is also incredibly scratchy. I know it's kind of hard to really get a sense of it online with the sort of the light, but I just think they're all amazing, and I am thrilled with how, excité, with how Aladdin was able to pull these together. Merci Natalie. C'est beau. Merci, merci Lynn. So those are the 4. So these are available, you know, if you want them all, you can say I want them all texture, and you'll get 4. If you want the diamond, you say I want them all, and you get 5. And then if you really want to go to town, you want them all for the pearly, you get 18. All right, so we're going to shift gears, and we're going to do a little bit of demoing. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about the giveaway. Yes, there are giveaways too. There are 2 giveaways. The first giveaway is to you guys. But when I say you guys, I mean one of you. Every night when I'm doing a Facebook Live with a different independent Thank you, Ariel. Different independent, thanks, Dominique. A different independent shop. I'm gonna try to focus. At the end of the live, the shop owner will give me one name of a person who watched live, and that person will go into the draw. There'll be 12 for the 12 shops. At the end of it, I am going to take all those names and I am going to randomly pick one, and whoever wins is going to win the entire collection. Free. Liberté. You're gonna win the collection of 18 pearlies, 4 textures, and 5 diamonds. You're just gonna get it. It's gonna show up at your home one day. So that's really cool. We are having and Natalie will let me know tomorrow. We are having a second giveaway, and that giveaway is for the shop owners because we're celebrating them and they're amazing. And so I am creating across all 12 of these Facebook Lives, I'm creating a kind of a decorated little box with drawers. And I'm gonna then pick one of the 12 randomly shops and send it to them. So this is what it looks like now. The more you see it, the longer you go, the better it's looking. So this is what it looks like from the back. And the person who asked me about painting on like white wood, this is just untreated plain wood, and you'll see it works. And then what I've done is I've started to paint the drawers with the different colors. Thanks, Sherry. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned it so they could see your name. So I just think these are amazing, truly amazing. I'm not sure if I've memorized all the colors. This is Golden Glow, this is Tangerine, this is Coral Crush, this is Sky Green, this is Diamond, it's the Rose Eggplant, this is Pewter, this is Butter Haze, this gorgeous one is Ocean, this one is Winter Sky, again one of my favorites. That's one Smoky Lilac, that's the beautiful Blue Diamond, and that is Peppermint Cream. It is coming together so beautifully, and I can't wait to get it to a shop. So we're gonna choose what I'm gonna demo with based on Natalie choosing 2 numbers. Each number represents a drawer. I'm gonna open that drawer, and there's a name of a product in it, and whatever name, those 2 names, that's what I'm gonna demo, I'm gonna show you. So that is the peppermint, that's the peppermint cream. Isn't that gorgeous? Even on wood, they look metallic, but I will tell you, because it's untreated wood, you can even see the wood grain, despite the fact that these are opaque. Really, really nice. Yeah, we definitely need to sell these boxes, and I'm definitely gonna make one for myself. So Natalie, I need you to pick 2 numbers between 1 and 23. Now you can't pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 11, 14, 16, 20, 21, and 23. Did you get that? Pick any other numbers besides that. But don't worry, just pick 2 numbers, and if you pick numbers that were already chosen, I'll just tell you to pick again. And the pretty yellow, if you're talking about that one, that's Butter Haze. Really nice yellow, yeah. What is the top pinky color? So this is Coral Crush. I think that's the one you're talking about, right? That's Coral Crush. Really rich pink. Okay, now I know like a lot of you guys who are watching are picking numbers, but the only person who can pick is Natalie, and Natalie picked 10 and 17. Somehow when I rambled off all those numbers, she remembered which ones not to choose. So if you guys are all choosing numbers, that's great. You can keep choosing numbers, but that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. And Aaron, I agree with you. That is also true with the ice, the yellow and the ice. It's a beautiful color. So we are going to open drawer number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to open number 17, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Whatever 2 products are in that drawer are the ones I'm going to demo. So we are demoing Sunlight Pearly. Ooh, yeah. And, oh, a nice one, Seafoam. I get to show you Seafoam. Seafoam and Sunlight Pearly. So, I'm going to shift the camera, and let's spend, I don't know, maybe about 15 minutes doing this. So bear with me. Let's make this work somehow. And the iPhone, I keep telling everybody it's upside down. Because it's upside down, it's very hard for me to gauge the location. I'm getting there, guys, though. Let's see how that is. I'm going to have to wait a second. I'm looking straight ahead at my iPad, but because my iPad is delayed compared to the live, I need to wait just a couple seconds to see if I've gotten a good spot. All right. Yesterday it just worked so perfectly. I think that's good though, guys. What do you think? Yeah, I think that's, I don't know. Are we good? All right. I want to make sure I'm in the zone. Otherwise, I know that I'll start creating off the page. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start by finding those two items in my pile. So there's sunlight and there's seafoam. And they do make a pretty combination. Let's just play a little bit. Let's get out a palette knife and let's get out a sheet of white watercolor paper. And let's see what we can do here. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to open them up, and I want to remind you of something. These are, absolutely, you can go through the website. These come out from the nozzle. As long as you close the nozzle when you're done using them, they will stay fresh. When you close the nozzle, just do yourself a favor and do a little wipe around it so that if there's any sticky paste on the outside, it doesn't end up making it harder to open. And then I just want to squeeze this just a little bit, really softly, because it's easy to squeeze a little too hard, because I just want you to see what this is like. So when I say it's a paste, I mean it's a paste. So I'm going to put just a little bit on there. You can see how thick and dimensional it is. And then I'm just going to spread it out a little bit so you can get a sense of the color. So remember, this one is sunlight. And you can see kind of how thick it is. I think you can see. Thank you guys for ordering. And I hope you can also get a little bit of sense of the sheen and almost the metallic surface that it is. And the great thing about this is you can do so much more with it. So for example, this color is very rich. It has a little bit of an ochre color to it. I can use the palette knife to create kind of nooks and crannies and peaks and valleys and let it dry that way. Put a little bit more so that I could make my surface look like maybe that. And then that's going to dry that way and I have a background that's already textural. Or I could spread it out and I could go in, and I love doing this with the side of my palette knife. Yeah, j'adore aussi. And I could scratch in. And I love scratching in, and that's what I did to create those backgrounds you saw before. And because I put it on pretty thickly, it's going to take a little while to dry. So let's say I all of a sudden say, oh, too many scratches. Let me get rid of some, but not all of them. I can do that. And then I can go in and I can scratch again any way I want. I could even write my name if I wanted to. However, when you put it on thinly, be aware that it will dry quite fast. So if I take that element and I put that on thin, it's going to soften up and be almost more like a translucent glaze, which I think is really, really nice. And because you're using the palette knife, you can add a little bit thicker in some spots, a little bit thinner in some spots, and get a completely different effect. This will hold through a stencil. Remember I showed you that board to prove it. So you will do really, really well if you want to put it on quite thick. Now, what I also want to show you, and I'm just going to take a lot of it off because I don't want to waste this. Like, what a gorgeous glaze that would be. I am going to put this on black because these colors, all of the pearlies, are magnificent on black. So those of you who said, oh, I liked it when you saw it here, wait till you see it on black. All right, we ready? Sorry about that. Hope I didn't get anybody dizzy. It's actually already drying a little bit, so let's get some fresh. Look at how that pops off that black background. That to me is just stunning. Seriously stunning. And then if I go in now and I do my scratches, I bring the black up, which I think is gorgeous. Just gorgeous. It's just a whole different look, but they're so opaque. There are other luster kind of products out there, and some of them are a little bit less opaque. Not that there's anything wrong with them, that's just how they chose to make them. But we made ours extremely opaque, so they really pop, again, especially off black. And if for some reason I thought, you know, there's too many lines there, I could just go back in and kind of break it up like that a little bit. So what I've been doing, I know, every time you see a color, you gotta have it, right? When the piece is dry with different colors of paste, can I stamp an image on top with StazOn or archival ink? You can 100% stamp on this with StazOn or archival ink. You can also stamp on it with dye-based inks, but I will tell you that the dye-based inks, it resists a little bit, and you really have to wait for the dye-based inks to dry. So I would recommend StazOn or archival, the permanent inks, but you can use the others. But like I said, they'll just sit on the surface for a while and they really need to dry. So I still have a little bit of this left. So what I've been doing is I've just been spending time working in the last couple lives building up on these surfaces. This is how I create. I just start with a little bit of a mess and I add a little bit more. So let's just add a little bit of these colors to these right here. And you'll get a little sense of how I create by seeing this. Because the way I create is just very loose and very random. I'm all about just creating without thinking, not worrying. If this layer doesn't look good, I just add something to the next layer, which will make it look better. And I think just that little bit of color made this even better than it already was. Yeah, these are gonna be great. And this one has a lot of, I believe it was the sky green, yeah. So I'm going to need to break that sky green because there's quite a lot, and this is actually quite a beautiful color to kind of break it with. And using the palette knife means I can get it in a very haphazard way. So if you don't paint with palette knives, hopefully you will after this. And you can see I still have some of the black. These are black bookboard pieces. You can totally use the paints on canvas. All three products that I'm releasing this time are all surface. So canvas, paper, wood, glass, metal, ceramic, clay, everything. And I don't know if Natalie's not feeling like she's doing great. I think she's doing fantastique. You hear that, Natalie? All right, so we're gonna just put these aside and we're gonna come back to these tomorrow and we're gonna keep adding more, and the trees are gone. Once you're done, just get a toweling or a baby wipe and wipe that off and make sure you cap it. And then this is a paste, so you do want to clean your stencil or clean your palette knife so that it doesn't dry. Natalie, I have to say, and I've seen this all week because a lot of your people have been joining me at other lives, you have a wonderful, dedicated, passionate, creative, really lovely group of people who go with your shop, and it impresses me to no end, and I certainly remember that when I taught there, but just seeing it again, it's fantastic. All right, now we got seafoam. Let's do seafoam right on black. It is just calling me, seriously calling me. So let's see, we're gonna open it up. Such a gorgeous color. Can you see it now that it's out? A little bit more what it's like. Yeah, it's such a beautiful color. So let's put it on here. Oh, I put a little too much. That's why you have to be really, really careful with the squeezing. But you can even see just how beautiful that is. And I'm gonna have to put this also on some white because I just have way too much here. But as I spread it out, now this is definitely different. Trust me when I say it's different than cream, because this has this icy, soft, sort of soft blue, almost soft green metallic. I don't know if it's really being picked up on camera. I'm looking at it. Thank you, Josie, that's so sweet. It almost feels to me like it's washed out here, but it's sort of silvery, greeny, bluey. I just think it's just phenomenal, and it really, 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 because of the nature of the color, will make your piece look like it's a metal sheet. And I'm gonna take some off, just a little bit, and then I'm going to add it to the white. Oh, there you go. Now you can see the color even more. At least I can. I'm really hoping it's not washed out. This is where it really shows up. Can you put the excess back in the container? You can try. It's not so easy. You can put a little bit back in the container. So you need to be very cautious. You don't need much of this stuff. It really spreads, especially if you use it with water. So remember, really soft touch when you squeeze it out. But you can definitely see that color so much more now that it's on the white. Oh my God, and I just love it. It's definitely one of my top 3 or 4. You know, it's not a wow color like Provence is, but to me, that's just subtle, gorgeous beauty. So let's go back to the black. You know, when I put it on thinly, you're gonna be able to see some of the black underneath. I would need to put it on a little thicker if I wanted the black to disappear. All right, Colleen, thank you so much. Yeah, the colors last, they really do. It's a tips between silver and very pale blue. Yeah, exactly. But you know, several people have said it even has a little bit of a green mint tone. It's interesting. So I'm gonna then sweep this up, and you know, I don't know, should we put a little bit on this one as well? We just did a warm color, let's bring a little cool in, just a little bit. And I'm kind of gonna scrape it off, scrape it down. And I'm losing that indigo. I'm losing a lot of the indigo, so I would probably, if I were working on my own right now, I would go back in and add a little bit more indigo. And you know what? Who says I can't? Oh, I love that, Wendy. So you see what that does? It adds sort of this soft blue pearlized effect. It's really, really pretty. Really pretty. All right, so let's do what I told you to do, which is to wipe off the nozzle. Ooh, I like that, Rita, like a wave. Yeah, sea foam. That's why we called it sea foam, because we thought it was sort of like the foam that you see when the wave crashes and it sort of flies up. I have tried it on the jelly plate, and it looks gorgeous on the jelly plate. Let me, in fact, show you a couple jelly plate pulls that I did. All right, so this is with indigo. You can see the sort of crispy bits that got pulled up, and I hope you can see the sheen. This is just on printer paper, and this feels, that part there in particular, it's like pure metal. And this is another one, which I think is also quite gorgeous, where you can see, and you see the sheen, and you just see the effect. It works beautifully on the jelly plate. All right, so we are unfortunately gonna wind down, which is so sad because I feel like I only got started. So as I say, see you soon, I am going to keep this out. Is it there? Is it on camera? Yep. And I'm going to just add a little bit more of this color, which I gotta show you. It's the indigo, because I covered a good amount of indigo and I love the indigo. And also, this is a technique that I use. I use the sandwich technique when I work in layers. So a color that's in a lower layer, like the indigo, I add it to a later layer, and probably a couple times. So you're creating a sandwich of colors, and in doing that, you bring the lower layers and the upper layers together and integrate. But I gotta show you this, because this indigo is so friggin' gorgeous. And look how it looks by the side of the sunlight. Just phenomenal. I mean, crazy phenomenal. So I'm gonna add more of that back in. Yeah. And begin to sandwich the layers together. I don't have to worry that I'm covering too much because I'm putting it on thickly and I'll be able to pull it off before it dries. And let's just put some scratches in. So as I add more and more layers, I'm gonna build up the scratches as well. And see, you can layer over and cover, and I could pull back. Is that on camera? Yeah, so I could get lost here and do this for the next 3 hours, but it's late. So I'm going to turn the camera. It's looking good. Blue and yellow are a great combination. And I'm gonna wipe this. So much. That's a waste. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you. And I'm going to show you that I'm still here and just say thank you. I'm going to be a little twisted for a minute, but that's okay. There we go. I want to say thank you to you guys for joining me. I want to thank you for that you supported me, Aladdin, and my line, and I so want to thank you for supporting Natalie. She's a wonderful person. All the shop owners have been amazing, and it seemed like a good number of you ordered via the comments, and I'm hoping a lot more of you may have ordered. Thank you, Fred, that's so nice. Hoping that some of you have ordered on the website, and we did really well by Natalie. I will be back in Montreal. I do not know yet when I'm going to travel again. It might be for quite a while, but I will for sure be back. Before we sign off, I want to thank you, Natalie, a million times over for giving me your Facebook page and giving me this time. This really went by fast. It did. I had fun. I hope you guys did too. Natalie is going to hand off this Facebook Live to the next Facebook Live. So every day at the end of a Facebook Live, the store owner shares in the comment who's going to go next. Because you're all, even if you don't buy at every place, you're all welcome to come to every place. And you can see I demo every time with a different color, and different things happen. You never know what I'm going to talk about. Yesterday I actually demoed with ice. So, and thank you for going online and deciding. So I'm going to wait for Natalie to, oh, by the by, I also want to thank Natalie because I know what she's doing behind the scenes, that you guys have been really enjoying yourself, which is fantastic. I am sure Natalie is working her, I don't know, how do you say tail in French? She's working very hard this hour and a half. The behind the scenes work to get this all accomplished is a lot. So I thank her. Merci beaucoup. And let's see, at some point, I know she'll chime in and let us know where this is going. And then I will also read it out loud. And then any of you can join me tomorrow. I would appreciate that. That would be fantastic. So yeah, while we're waiting, I don't mind. Although something tells me some of the store owners are taking their time to put the name so that I stay on longer. All right, remember, this is sunlight, Pearly. So let's just go back to sunlight. Let's just take a very little bit and let's just put it and spread it on the drawer front. And I am doing this, thanks Julie, dry. I am not adding water. It's because I just happen to, 9 out of 10 times, I paint dry. That's just my way. I think you missed it. Oh, Natalie said it. Oh, I keep missing things. Let me go back and see. Sorry, Natalie. Well, I'm just going to tell you. If I missed it, I apologize. But I need to look at my notes. Tomorrow, which is day 8, we are going to Beaverton, Oregon. We're going back to the United States. I'm going to see if I can talk and paint. She announced it earlier, so sorry I missed it. We are going to Twyla Mall's shop, Whimsy's Scrapbook Studio. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern, so the exact same time as what we did today. So what I want you to do is, if you're interested in going, just go to my Facebook page or go to my website, sethapter.com, and you will see, oops, I'm off camera again. You will see a link to all the Facebook pages and the videos, if you missed any, of all, ooh, looks good, right? Of all the Facebook Lives I'm doing this week. So check it out. Thank you all so much. I so appreciate you. I hope you love these products. I cannot wait to see what you do with them. That is one of the most exciting things for a designer, to see what happens once their products are launched into the world. So everybody take care, have a great night or a great day, depending on where you are in the world. And everybody please take care and be safe. I'm gonna sign off now. If you missed most of this and do wanna watch it again, it will stay on Natalie's Facebook page. And Fred, thank you. There's a special section on the Scrapbook Central website to pre-order my new line. Thank you. Oh, and there it is. Thanks, Natalie, for doing it again. So now you can see with your very own eyes where I'll be tomorrow in the world. I'm traveling west and south from Montreal. Be well. I will paint the other drawer, but I'm going to do that off camera. Be well, take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Je t'aime. Au revoir.